Hello, my name is Patsy Austin-Gatson, and I serve as your district attorney here in Gwinnett County. Welcome to Community Conversations. This initiative aims to shed light on a host of issues that impact our vibrantly connected community. We seek to find solutions, spread awareness, and provide resources that connect with our residents with the information they need to make sound decisions. Thank you for joining us and allowing me to serve you all.
Hello, and welcome to Community Conversations. I am Uzma Khan. Today, we want to take a moment and talk about the importance of jury duty, the jury selection process, and the impact it has on the victims, the jurors, and the one being accused. Performing the job of a juror here in Gwinnett County is vital. The fate of both accused and victim lies in the hands of 12 citizens. Our guests joining us today in today's conversation will help us explain the importance of jury duty. The jury process is an important and vital function of the court. Citizens who serve on the jury directly participate in the administration of justice. The jury division is responsible for sending the jury summons to eligible Gwinnett County residents. Summons are mailed around 6 weeks prior to the jury service date. Jurors are asked to complete a questionnaire prior to their service, which can be submitted online or mailed to the jury division. When jurors arrive for service, they check in with staff, watch a video that explains the jury selection process, and are assigned to a group before heading to the courtroom. Each group is assigned a bailiff to help them navigate the trial process. The jury staff is available to answer the questions via phone, email, or in person. Under uncontrollable circumstances, if the juror cannot perform the duty, a request should be submitted to the jury division. Visit www.gwinnettcountycourts.com for more information regarding jury service. Joining us with their take on the importance of jury process, we have here today Gwinnett County District Attorney, Ms. Patsy Austin-Gatson, and the Managing ADA of DGTF, Mr. Ryan Smith. Hello, guys.
Hello. Good evening.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for joining our community conversations. So I will start with Madam DA. Looking at the cases that you have received so far when you took the office on January the 1st of 2021 as the first female of color district attorney of Gwinnett County, what is your opinion on how does the jury duty impacted Gwinnett County citizens?
Well, first of all, it's our civic duty to serve on juries. If you vote, you're going to be in that pool. And it's critically important for the criminal justice system, even the civil justice system, to have people available to serve on the jury. It's not a responsibility that should be panned off and considered non-important. It's extremely important that we have people from our community, because you're entitled to a trial by your peers. So it's important that people take this duty seriously and come and be ready to serve, because without that, we cannot determine cases, because people are entitled to a jury rendering of their crimes against them. So if people are not coming, if they're trying to shun their responsibilities, then we have a problem. So I think because you respect the country you live in, the county you live in, you should be ready and willing to come and serve on a jury. And I know sometimes it takes time out of your personal life, out of your work life, but that cannot be held against you. If you've been summoned to come to a jury and serve, then your job cannot discriminate against you because of that.
I agree. It is an important task. When we, as you mentioned, being a citizen, living in the community, our voices should be heard. And this is one way of serving. This is one way of your duty to the community that you live in. So moving on to Mr. Smith, as an ADA, what what is the role of an ADA in the jury process? And furthermore, what is it that you're looking for when you are questioning the jurors to qualify them?
It's a very good question. So, first off, my role, I believe, is to explain the process. Oftentimes, I find when the jury pool is coming in, they're not really familiar with the legal system or the legal process at all. And so the first job is to educate them. Secondly, our job is to make sure that we're finding an impartial, fair juror, someone that's looking to seek the truth, not necessarily looking for excuses or explanations, but looking to seek the truth. That is the most important part.
It is serious, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
It is very serious. So moving on to the next question. And it's very interesting that when you approach a juror who you see that have somewhat experience of what the defendant is actually charged with, how does that impact the process of selection here?
That's a very good question. Oftentimes, you will have someone that has had similar life experiences to what the defendant is currently charged with. And what we first want to do is determine whether or not that person has bias, whether or not they're implicitly going to believe one side or the other. Again, because we're seeking a fair and impartial juror. So because someone has that kind of life experience, that may not make them most suited for the jury panel. If that is the case, we can certainly have a sidebar, have a side conversation to get to the heart of the matter and find out, again, what is going on with them in their past and whether or not that would be a bias that would cause them to not be able to be fair and impartial.
So is it fair to say that if I am a juror and I'm going through a selection process, I somewhat went through part of what the defendant is charged with, I will be able to sit in the jury?
It is possible. It is possible. When the panel of people come in, we can't ask you to put aside all of your past experiences. In fact, our past experiences is what makes us who we are. It's how we view the world, through the lens of which we've lived our life. And so in this situation, if you've had a similar interaction or a similar exchange with a defendant or a victim for that matter, again, you might be better suited or not better suited for that particular case. And that's something that we will always say to the jury panel in the beginning. You know, you may or may not be best fitted for this particular case.
I see. So it's not one size fits all.
Definitely.
It's all dependent on many circumstances and many conditions that you guys are looking at and going through with the questioning process. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Understood. So Madam DA, if I ask you to give a message, a detailed message to your community on the importance of serving as a juror in Gwinnett County, what will be your message for our viewers?
Come, serve, because that's what's required. They have to come, have to serve, and don't act as if it's a burden you don't want, because it's very important to our democracy that we do this. And without it, you could be stuck with situations where people are unjustly convicted if they don't have the fair and impartial jurors that we need to come and sit and hear the case. Because our responsibility as a prosecutorial office is also to make sure the defendant's rights are protected. And that's part of that protection, so that people that don't know anything about the person, don't know the people, they come in, they hear the facts as they're presented, and they make a decision. So it's imperative that people understand that this is a serious duty that they have to fill.
Very well said. Thank you, Madam DA. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you for joining us and helping us educate the community on the importance of jury duty. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short break.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
welcome back. Our next guests are Mr. Richardson and victim witness advocate at Gwinnett County District Attorney's Office, Ms. Shanita Coward. Welcome to Community Conversations.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. So I will start with you, Mr. Richardson.
Yes, ma'am.
So in what ways do you believe that jury duty and jury selection impacts you? And as a victim of crime, how do you feel that it is essential for the jurors to understand the importance of serving as a juror?
I feel that people need to understand that justice needs to be served. It impacts me because I was a victim, and a fair jury, an unbiased jury, makes all the difference.
I understand. Moving to you, Ms. Shanita Coward. Thank you for the services that you provide for the citizens of Gwinnett County as an advocate to the victims of crime in Gwinnett County, DA's office. So, your role as a victim advocate, it's understandable that during the process of the trial, you are supporting them, you're walking them through the entire process. But at the very end, when the verdict is given, what is your role at that time? Sometimes the verdict is in favor and sometimes it's not. So on the both cases, how do you support and how do you provide that support to the victims, to the witnesses and their families?
Sure. So how we usually provide support is we're there, like we're sitting with them during the verdict. We offer tissues, we offer hugs. We also stand with them if there is a conviction. We stand with them when there is a victim impact statement. We stand side by side with them to let them know that we are there with them and we're not just present. We also stay with them while they speak with the prosecutors, the assistant district attorneys, and go over what they thought went well. Typically, I'm just in the background, just listening and giving them assurance that their feelings are valid. And if it's an acquittal, it's the same. We've had acquittals where the victim's family has still felt that the assistant district attorney did an awesome job in presenting the case. They just have to come to grips with the fact that the jury didn't see it the way they did because they sat in the courtroom as well.
So is it just as easy to explain this to the victims and the families when it is not favorable? Do they all understand?
No, they do not all understand because they're going through very heightened emotions. They thought that a lot of times they think that the trial will give them closure, and if it's an acquittal, it's still their grieving process. A lot of times stops at that point. They feel desolate. They don't feel like they have, as I said, closure, or they don't feel like they got justice for their family members. So their grieving process might start all over again. What we try to do is try to reach out to them every few months, see how they're doing. Even if they had a horrible reaction, we still reach out to them. They might not reply to us, but we still want them to know that we are still there for them in their journey.
So it's long-lasting bonds.
Yes.
That you form.
Yes.
So it doesn't end at the point when the verdict is given, it continues on.
Yes.
That is amazing. And again, thank you for the services that you give to the citizens of Gwinnett County. So I will go back on the same question to you, Mr. Richardson. With your experience here at Gwinnett County, how do you think the District Attorney's Office had helped you through the process during the verdict and after the verdict?
To be perfectly honest, I felt safe. I felt that they did their job. I felt that they went above and beyond. I felt that they cared. And if, in all honesty, I just appreciate them so much.
Do you feel like the door was left open so you could reach back if you would need any help, any resources, or any kind of support?
Oh yeah, definitely. With any situation, I mean, sometimes they would call like, hey, how things are going for you? I'm fine. Taking it step by step, day by day.
And simple things matter. So thank you so much, both of you. Thank you, Mr. Richardson, for sharing your experience with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Community Conversations. Don't go away. We will be back after a short break.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back. This segment of our program is very important because we have two very important people here, and they have actually served as the jurors in Gwinnett County. So we welcome Mr. Richard Carr and Ms. Nadia Miller. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Welcome to Community Conversations. So I'll start with you, Mr. Richard Carr. As a citizen of Gwinnett County, why do you think that jury duty is important, and what do you suggest our community should know before serving as a juror?
Well, one of the most important things is that this is the most hands-on you can get with our democracy, and you really get a chance to really participate in what goes on around you. One of the things that you should know is that it's not like on TV. This is very serious. You come in, you get to look at the evidence and get around with a group of peers and be able to just decide what's really going on and be able to get a conviction for this person of innocent or guilty and not guilty. And that's really important and part of the community and what's going on there.
Correct. It's serious business. And a lot of people take this as a fear or as they don't know, they don't understand. They would rather just dodge it away, not be part of it. But this is the way you voice in your community. So it should be taken serious. You are right. So moving on to Ms. Nadia, under your experience as a juror, talk to us. Tell us, how was your experience?
Well, to be honest, the first time that I got served, I couldn't make it. So when I called staff, they were very knowledgeable and very understanding for my concerns and the reasons why I couldn't attend. So they were able to give me a second chance. And when I did, I was here and they were able to explain everything to me and make me more at ease at what was the process gonna be. And they were very helpful.
So what message would you want to give to the community for the importance of serving as a juror?
I think it's very important to serve, especially as being part of the Hispanic community. It's a way of giving back.
Right, that is for sure, the ethnic communities and their voice should be heard. And this is one way how we can be part of the community and give it back. You are right about that. And I would ask the same question from you, Mr. Carr, that with your experience of serving as a juror in Gwinnett County, what will be the message that you would want to give to our viewers today?
Oh, this is, again, one of those chances that you get to really get to be hands-on and participate. There's a lot of stuff we hear about injustices that happen in all the communities, but especially for minority communities. And this is a chance to be able to come out and be able to have your voice heard and be a part of that community to make sure that justice is actually served. And that's where you get to hear about it. You sit where you get to actually do it, So I think it's important that everyone comes out and they understand not only like the duty that they have to do it, but the right that they have to do it. It's something they get to do. And that's really important.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you, both of you, for joining us today on our community conversation as we educated our community on the importance of jury duty.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
As you can see, there are lots of moving parts when it comes to the jury selection process and they are all vital for protecting the victims and the citizens of Gwinnett County. I want to thank our viewers and our guests for having this conversation with us today regarding the importance of jury duty as we continue to empower the diverse voices of Gwinnett County. If you have any questions, feel free to call us at 770-822-8400.